So this is my attributes for my Firestaff Rapier build. So we're starting off with 125 intelligence, 22 dex, and 50 constitution. In order which I would acquire these points, I would get 100 into intelligence first, after which you're going to get enough constitution from your faction gear and stuff. So you're going to want to push to 50 constitution. And then after which you're going to go up to 150 into intelligence, and then put 50 points into dex, and then you want to put more points into intelligence. The important passives to note. It's the 5% crit chance you get from hitting 50 dex. That's why we want to get it third after this. That synergizes as well with our Firestaff and our Rapier. The reason why I want to go for 50 first here is it gets this 10% light and heavy attack on magic attacks. And 10% crit damage once again on 100. That synergizes really well once again with our Firestaff and Rapier. And 50% constitution here. So whenever we consume like a pot or anything like that, they're 20% stronger. That's a big buff. And those important passives to note. Also the 150 points into here to get that 15% elemental damage, which definitely will come in handy when running an intelligent build like this. Alright, so for our gear setup, we're running light armor here. And the reason for that is to get the 20% damage bonus for our damage, and to get the more mobility from our roll dodge. Quick side note, never go medium in this game. I don't think it's ever useful. Heavy armor is the best thing you want to do, something like that, and light armor is just the best thing you want to be, have mobility. Alright, anyways, we'll get right back into our build. So we're going to be running medium helmet, light chest, light gloves, medium legs, and light feet here. It's all faction gear, level 25, and all constitution and intelligence, and they all give me crit reduced damage here. If you want to slot something into here, I recommend the Moonstone gem. And that is because it allows you to, it reduces slash damage by like 2% per gem. So we get like 10% more slash damage here. I didn't find any, so I never really bothered to do it. But since everyone runs like Great Axe and Hatchet, and those are both slashes, I think the hammer is also a slash, I'm pretty sure. Not 100% positive on that. But since, you know, everyone's running Great Axe and Hatchet, it's just, that's the best thing to run in your armor here. Definitely will come in the most handy to reduce all that damage you're going to be taking from all those people. Alright, down here to our necklace here, we got the Monarch's Wish, 11 constitution, and 5% for 5.5% more maximum health. You get this from completing a quest in Monarchs, as you can tell from the name. You get it at level 17, so just do the Monarch quests after level 15, and you'll eventually get this necklace. This necklace is really strong, definitely recommend getting it. And then for a ring, we don't use a ring because I only have a focus ring, and the other ring I got is level 33, and I have yet to hit that level. So we don't run the ring at all yet. If you find the ring, just put it here if it's not focus. Constitution, intelligence, or dex, whatever you can find is would be better. I'm also only running one bag because who needs that second bag? So for our weapons here, we're running Firestaff and our Rapier. This is a faction Firestaff. Gives me 14 intelligence, and we're running Gambit here, so 6% damage while your stamina is not full. That's very useful because what you want to do with the setup is you want to roll dodge and then heavy attack, roll dodge, fireball, roll dodge, and burnout. Use your abilities in tandem with your roll dodges so you get that 6% more damage. And you want to also roll dodge to dodge like autos from like a musket or a bow or another Firestaff shooting at you. So you use that to kite. That's why this comes in very useful with the Firestaff. I think it's a very useful thing to have. Very easy to get the extra damage on that gem. I think it's an opal gem, by the way. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And the other passive here is enchant light and heavy attack deal 7% more damage. So you know, that's just useful. And then for the Rapier here, this is actually from Amryn's Temple. If you don't want to grind Amryn Temple or you don't get lucky like I did, just run the faction one instead. So, but I am running Amryn Temple here, and I do think this is actually better than the faction one because you get Keen, which is 7.4% more critical chance, and on crit you gain 15% empowerment for 5 seconds. That passive is super strong when going in for a burst combo and getting someone who's low HP. So yeah, I would definitely, if you have this, I definitely think it's better than the faction one. But if you don't get lucky or don't feel like getting or grinding it, then just get the faction Rapier. It's also really good. I just this is just better, and I just happened to get it. You know, got lucky. All right, on to our consumables here. We're running water. Got to stay hydrated. So this restores like I think 20 to 30 HP like every second or something. It's not very useful unless you're behind cover and using it. It only lasts for 10 seconds, and if you get hit while using this, it stops it. Same with the food, but the food gives you 60 health per second, so this gives you, I'm pretty sure, like 20. So with Tangent here, you're gonna be getting like 80 health every second. But if you get hit while using either of these, the health regeneration stops. So you just want to LOS with our really good mobility on this build, so that allows you to use these things behind cover. And then for our potions, we're running weak and strong healing elixirs. This you just can easily make with getting herbs and stuff, and with water. And our strong healing elixir, this comes from our faction vendor. I have infinite of these since I kill people and they give me tokens, and I just use them. So you basically, if you can kill enough people, you basically can get infinite strong healing elixir potions, and it just, you never run out. So it's very nice. I've never run out since I've started using these. I started with like 20 and I'm now at 35. I had 60 at one point, so it just depends on the fights and stuff. But this is very easy to get and very easy to use. Alright, other health consumables that you can use are, we can use a mana regeneration by 20% for 30 minutes. If you want to run something like this, you can. You don't need it on this build. I never had mana issues whatsoever once I unlocked the passive, which allowed my heavy attacks to be free. Ever since then, I've never like been like, oh, I have no mana here. If I ever run out of mana, or like ever like low on mana, I usually just will switch to the Rapier, run away, and just kite a little bit more. So I wouldn't really worry too much about mana regeneration food, but you definitely can if you want to like min-max the build. I think that's definitely an option. Other consumables here are common regeneration potions. So these are actually very useful. I never bothered using these because these are not like the easiest thing to come by. So you get these from life blooms, and you get these from the orange petal caps that you can find around the world. So you can use these to recover a decent amount of actual HP. I'm pretty sure it's on like par with this or something. I'm not 100% sure. But you can also use this if you want more regeneration. So you can put this here if you want like the best like survivability combo. And then you have honing stones here. So that's incorrect on what it's saying. It's 5% damage for 10 minutes. That's what it was on the last beta, and that's how it seems to function on this beta. So these, you can acquire them from making them in the blacksmithing station, and you need level 20 weaponsmithing to first make these. So just gather some iron and just make a few of these. And if you want to run this, I'm not running these in any of the fights, but if you want some more damage and more min-maxing, then this is another option to go with. Alright, what's going on, guys? We're going to go over our Rapier tree right now. For starting off, we're going to go Evade, Flèche, into our Riposte. These are the three abilities we're going to be running. And you're going to want to max out your Flèche tree here. You're going to get Quick Lunge, killing ability, reduce the cooldown by 80%. And then you get Backstab here. After performing Flèche, your next critical strike damage increases by 15%, lasts for 5 seconds. And Interruption here. Basically, any time during Flèche, you can light attack and it will stop it. Heal 150% extra damage here. And this comes in useful to get more damage on execute, a little extra range, but it's not the most reliable thing to hit since it has no tracking and it's very easily dodged and predicted. Alright, that's how you breathe it in, gain 20 stamina on immediate use. Allegro here, you have gain 20% movement speed for 3 seconds on use. Adagio, evade forward, gain 50% damage on your next light attack, ends on hit or after 1 second. And then Crescendo here, individual successful light attacks reduce the cooldown of this ability by 30% for each. And then after you get Crescendo, get Red Curtains if momentum's not unlocked yet. After Red Curtains, get Insult to Injury. Then I'll get Swiftness, and then Priority. Get Momentum as soon as it comes unlocked. This is the best of it. This is one of the best passes in the entire game. The second you see this thing unlock, grab it as quickly as possible and just snag that stuff up. Alright, in terms of the other passive, Red Curtains, any critical strike reduces cooldowns by 5%. This synergizes well with Crescendo here. So you're getting a lot of cooldown reduction on your evade. And then Insult to Injury here. After you riposte someone, you become uninterruptible for 3 seconds. This is basically CC immunity. You can't be, like CC'd by like a Reap or anything like that. It's very nice. I think you can still be slowed though, but you can't be you can't be like pulled in or anything. So it's very useful because after you riposte, you can just use Flèche, not worry about getting reaped in, which has happened to me, or getting stunned by something else, or hit out of it. So that's something to keep in mind. That prevents that from happening. And then priority reduces the cooldown of all Rapier abilities by 20% on a stun, so that's just very nice to have. Reduces Flèche and the riposte by quite a bit. Some important side notes is you can cancel Flèche here with evade if you want. So that's an important note. So you can like Flèche out of it immediately like that if you don't want to be in it, or dodge to like the left or the right. That's another option if you want to do that as well. And you just want to evade around people. This is also a little dodge. They give an invulnerability, which I don't think people use enough on the Rapier here. So you can use this to dodge abilities like stuns and stuff. It's very small iframes, but you can definitely use that to help you out as well. Alright, so we're gonna get right into our Firestaff here. So as you can see right off the bat, we're not running Incinerate anymore. That's why I show what I thought was the best thing to actually run. I was just testing out Incinerate throughout the beta, and I wanted to see how it functioned. In my opinion, it's not very good because you get out traded most of the time. It's not always the most reliable hit, and it's like a 1 second cast time. All those, and you have to be stationary, right? So all those things combined together, I don't think makes that good of ability. I had it fully maxed out, by the way, so I had Incinerate hit twice, Cauterize Wounds, which heals me for 20% of the damage done, and then everybody I hit with it, I get additional bleed. So I had this thing fully maxed out. It wasn't coming in handy the most, but I definitely don't recommend getting this if you want to 1vx. Alright, so let's go over the order in which you want to grab everything, and then I want to explain the passives. So we're going to go from here down to let it burn, to burnout, maxed out burnout, so you get heated up here, so that 50% further. After which you're going to come here for spell focus, clear mind, fireball, spell slinger, flare, prophet of the god. After prophet of the god, you're going to come over here for combat speed to get that mobility. Then you're going to come over here to get singe, where you do critical damage, deal 3% weapon for each second for 6 seconds. Then you're going to get kindled. After kindled, you're going to come down here and get clear casting. So after clear casting, you're going to get watch it burn. After watch it burn, you're going to get fiery restoration. And then after that, you can either get one of these passes down here, or you can just max out fireball here for these extra passives. So let's go over what each passive does. So this one, while holding a Firestaff below 50% max health, your damage increased by 20%. Let it burn. Whenever burn deals damage, you gain 10% fortify for 2 seconds. So this procs off, you hit someone with burnout, a light attack, the singed here, or your fireball on the ground. All those things will proc let it burn, and that gives you 10% damage reduction. Alright, and they have all in here, which Firestaff's cooldowns are reduced by 5% for each foe hit. Heat it up, burnout goes 50% further. Combat speed, whenever you activate a Firestaff ability, gain 10% haste for 5 seconds, 10 second cooldown. Watch it burn, light attacks, the enemies deal 3% fire damage for 6 seconds. Kindle, burns lasts 20% longer. Spell focus, heavy attacks restore 5% of your max mana on hit. Fire restoration, heavy attacks reduce Firestaff's cooldown by 10%. Clear mind, well above 50% mana, you gain 10% empowerment. Increase your damage. You have your fireball, your ability. Singe, whenever you hit a critical strike with a Firestaff, causing burning to deal 3% of damage for each second. Clear casting, you go ahead and take damage for the last 3 seconds, deal 10% more damage. Spell slinger, your ability gains 50% extra, 50% chance to crit. Heavy attacks no longer consume mana. That's what flare does. And prophet of the gods, while holding a Firestaff, critical chance is increased by 20%. That's a really strong passive. So then for your last 2 points, you can definitely get Runes of Helios here. Casting a fireball, place a 2-meter rune on the ground, increasing your spell damage by 30% while standing in the rune that lasts for 7 seconds. So this isn't the most useful thing while 1vxing, but definitely could be useful if you're like sitting on a hill shooting down at some people. Or you can get your fireball passives here, so that increases the time it's on the ground by 3 seconds. This is stationary, by the way. And then catch. Direct fireballs give you 10% of your max mana and reduces your Firestaff cooldowns by 7%. It's another useful passive you could get. Or so then you can get Runes of Helios after that. You can go 1 point in here, get this. or you can put both points into here and not get this. That's all it's up to you. This pass over here, but if you're wondering, gives you regeneration by 400%. But I never really had mana sustain problems with this setup. I'm not running any mana pots or any mana recovery food. So if I ever thought I was gonna run a mana, I would just run one of those and not this passive. And the reason why I'm not running any of these spells is because, well, this is this PvE. This is another PvE spell, and I've already tested this one out, and I didn't really like it. And then for this one here, Pillar of Fire, in my opinion, I'd rather just heavy attack than use something like this, since it's it's not instant. I have to hold my staff up and then choose an area on the ground and then activate it. At that point, I'd rather just roll heavy attack into a fireball than just stand there and cast this ability. Even though it has decent passive, Pillar of Fire does 40% more damage at full health, and gain 10% of your max mana per enemy hit by the Pillar of Fire. If you're going to do wars or PvE, then I definitely recommend getting another ability. But if you're just trying to 1vx to play very small scale, then I just recommend putting everything into your passives, because all your passives in the Firestaff are really good. You want to use your Fireball to animation cancel, so you just use Fireball, stuff like that. And then for Burnout, a couple important notes is this is your gap closer / escape. And if someone is using a sword and board and they're blocking while using a sword and board, you run into them with Burnout, you'll actually get staggered for 1 whole second. So please just keep that in mind. I've gotten killed by doing that. It's very easy for them to chain CC combo you if you hit them while using Burnout. You can die very easily, so just keep that in mind. Be cautious around people using sword and board. It can definitely get you killed. Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm bringing you a nice 1v4 here to showcase the build. We're going to start off by autoing J-Bones, who's in the water here. It's nice free auto attacks. And we see the squishier teammate coming towards me, so we're going to look to auto him. We're going to pop Incinerate here to do a bunch of damage to him, but I get punished very hard for using it. Pop a potion there. I use Flachet into the auto there. The Flachet auto does a bunch of damage. We're going to continue to kite back. Then we're going to pop Burnout to create some more distance between me and the Great Axe user. Going to run towards the river here, get away from those snipers, into the bushes to create some more LOS. You see the Great Axe are charging at me, so we're going to pop autos and some fireballs into him. Roll dodge him into Flachet, getting out of that gravity well. Try to get across the river here, but he pulls me back, but my Burnout comes up. So we're going to pop that, go across the river. We're going to use a potion, and then we're going to punish J-Bones here for running through the river. We see him running towards me, so I'm going to look to parry him, and I get him there. Into a heavy, into a Flachet. I roll dodge the Great Hammer ability into a Flachet here. I evade through the other Great Hammer ability, and I try and evade through the last one there, but it just clips me at the end here. Now the musket user is going to try and avenge his fallen comrade here. So we're going to have to auto evade him down here. We're going to roll dodge into a heavy to finish him off. And now we see the last party member coming across the river. He's running the Ice Gauntlet Rapier here, so we're looking to put him down. We Flachet through him. I parried there because I thought he was going to come towards me. I use Burnout here to close the gap. And now we notice he has no more Ice Gauntlet abilities here. So we're going to continue to run him down here, since we know we can play very aggressive with our Rapier right now. Force out the Ice Tomb. So I'm going to pop a potion, switch to my Firestaff, and just auto him. And try and get my mana back. We see him use both his rolls, so we're going to use a Fireball there. Roll dodge into the Flachet to finish him off.